Dear students, today I am going to discuss a very important topic related to poetry. In descriptive questions also, and sometimes in multiple choice questions, this will help you a lot. You are asked very often to analyze a poem critically. There you are required to find out what kind of stanza is used, what kind of rhyme pattern is there. And sometimes in various competitive examinations, the question is like, 7-line stanza is called, 4-line stanza is called, or, something like that. Or in this kind of poem, this particular stanza is used. Very often you must have heard the term like Alexandrine or Spenserian stanza or Quatrain or Couplet. So in this video I'm going to explain various stanza forms, ranging from a stanza of 2 lines to the stanza of 9 lines. In this video I'll explain what does the word stanza mean. Then I'll start discussing the various kinds of stanza forms, like couplet stanza of 2 lines, tercet stanza of 3 lines. And then while explaining these stanza forms, I'll also give you certain examples to illustrate my point. I'll take those examples, which the examples of those poems actually, which you must have gone through at any level, while studying. Stanza forms. So first we learn what does the word stanza mean. Now generally we see the word stanza in poetry. So in poetry, a stanza is a group of lines within a poem, usually set off from others by a blank line or sometimes by indentation. It is a group of lines that form a unit in verse. You can understand it like this, that the stanza in a poem is similar to a paragraph in prose. In prose, we have a paragraph, and in a poem, we have a stanza. Each new stanza deals with a fresh turn of thought. We have various types of stanza forms, which are differentiated by number of lines in them, the number of feet in each line, or by their metrical pattern. In this video, I am going to discuss some of the most popular stanza forms. And this is important because whenever you are going to analyze a poem, then this is very much required. So let us now see the first stanza form, that is called couplet. I think this is very known to you, that a stanza of 2 lines is called couplet. Generally in Hindi we call it doha, a stanza of 2 lines. Similar to this, we have a word called heroic couplet. Now, heroic couplet, because the word couplet is used, it means it will be a stanza of 2 lines. So, heroic couplet is a stanza of 2, and then this word you will remember, that is iambic pentameter lines. Iambic pentameter lines. 2 iambic pentameter lines and two iambic pentameter lines which are rhyming with each other. So heroic couplet is a stanza of two iambic pentameter lines that rhyme together. The word heroic is very significant here. It is called heroic because it was used extensively in heroic literature. We have the example of heroic couplet found in the Rape of the Lock. The Rape of the Lock is written in heroic couplet. And when I say iambic pentameter lines, iambic means the first syllable will be unstressed, second will be stressed. Unstressed and stressed. And pentameter means 5 feet, where 1 foot equal to 2 syllables. That is 5 feet equal to 10 syllables. Syllable, I think all of you know, when you pronounce a word, you take some pauses, and that pauses make break in a sentence, and that form the syllable. Or you can say the vowel sounds, whatever the vowel sounds come in a sentence, they form syllable. For example, if you say this word, how will you pronounce this word? Beautiful, beautiful. So we are beautiful. We are taking pause. Beautiful, or the vowel sound beauty. These are the vowel sounds. So we have 3 syllables here. There's one word which I would also like to tell you here in this context is, this is a word which is very often used in literature, but not pronounced well. You'll pronounce it, sometimes, very often people take it as 1 syllable, which is wrong. There are 2 syllables here. We pronounce it like zonera, 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 zonera. So there are 2 syllables here. So this was just out of the context here. So there's a couplet, heroic couplet I have told you. Then tercet. Tercet is a stanza of 3 lines. Now, related to this, we have a word called Terza Rima. Now, Terza Rima is actually a series of interlocking tercets. We have sets of tercets in Terza Rima. There are 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, like this, with the following rhyme scheme, like A, B, A, B, C, B, C, D, C. That is first line rhyming with third. Its pattern in Terza Rima. And this measure was adopted by Dante in his famous poem, Divine Comedy. And if you want to see the use of tercets, that is stanza of 3 lines, or the Terza Rima, that is interlocking tercets, read Ode to the West Wind by Shelley. Shelley has used tercets. We have Terza Rima there, and the rhyme scheme is the same which I told you. Third, very popular, quatrain, stanza of 4 lines. So 2 lines couplet, 3 lines tercet, 4 lines quatrain. A very famous poem which I would like to tell you here, and you must have read this poem, Elegy written in a country churchyard. by Thomas Gray. This is a poem written in quatrains. And you'll find out actually the quatrains used by the poets very often. Then comes Pentastich. Pentastich, a stanza of 5 lines. Coming to Sestet, I think you are familiar with this word. A stanza of 6 lines. And as you know, that the second part of a Petrarchan sonnet is known as sestet. If you read Petrarchan sonnet, you'll find out that it consists of 2 parts. First 8 lines octave and the last 6 lines sestet. So the last 6 lines is called sestet, and it can have various schemes. Then you can have next like septet. Septet is a stanza of 7 lines. Septet, and now this septet actually, now I'm going to tell you another word that is called rhyme royal. Rhyme royal. It's a stanza of 7 lines of iambic pentameter, and the rhyme scheme is generally this A B B C C. We call it rhyme royal. It is named due to its use by King James I of England. It is also known as Chaucerian stanza because it was Chaucer who made it popular, and Chaucer wrote his poem Troilus and Cresside, and there in Troilus and Cresside he used this pattern of 7 lines, that is rhyme royal. Next is Octostitch, just as Pentastich. Similarly, Octostitch is a stanza of 8 lines. And I'll also tell you here in this context, Ottawa Rima. Ottawa Rima is an 8-line iambic pentameter stanza having the rhyme A B C C. This stanza is Italian in origin, and it was used actually for long poems with heroic subjects. It was used by Boccaccio. And if you come to the Romantic age, there is a poem, Don Juan by Byron. He used this Ottawa Rima in this poem. And I have seen that, very often in your examination, we have the question related to this, that Byron used which stanza form like that. Now coming to the last one, that is a Spenserian stanza. It's a stanza of 9 lines. 9 iambic lines. Just remember 9 iambic lines. And just try to understand. Here in a Spenserian stanza, first 8 lines are pentameter, and last is hexameter. Hexameter, which is generally called Alexandrine. The word is very popular. This verse form was created by Edmund Spenser, an Elizabethan writer, and he used this in his epic poem Fairy Queen. So these are the most popular stanza forms, which I have just told you. Very quickly, just look at what is the meaning of a stanza. As I told you, the stanza is basically a group of lines that form a unit in verse. Generally, it is set off, from others by a blank line or by some indentation. Various stanza forms: couplet, stanza of 2 lines; heroic couplet, stanza of 2 lines; iambic pentameter lines, and these lines are rhyming with each other. The rape of the lock is an example. I also tried to explain that iambic means first syllable is unstressed, second is stressed. Pentameter means 5 feet, 1 foot equal to 2 syllables, 5 feet equal to 10 syllables. And what is syllable? I explained it to you and I gave you one example that just say beautiful, 3 syllables are there. I also gave you this example to pronounce the word correctly. There is genre. The 2 syllables are there. Coming to number 2, tercet. Tercet means stanza of 3 lines. On what Terza Rima? It is a collection of the tercets. This is the rhyme scheme Dante uses for the first time. And Ode to the West Wind. In Ode to the West Wind, Shelley used it. Then Quatrain is a stanza of 4 lines. L is an example. Pentastich is a stanza of 5 lines. Sestet is a stanza of 6 lines. Septet is a stanza of 7 lines. We have the example of the rhyme royal, and Chaucer used this pattern of rhyme royal in his poem Troilus and Cressida. And then Octostitch is a stanza of 8 lines. It's Ottawa Rima actually, and Byron used it in his Don Juan. And the last is a Spenserian stanza, 9 lines. First 8 lines are pentameter, last is hexameter, and Edmund Spenser used it in his Fairy Queen. Thank you very much.